So today we're going to talk about video. Just really quick, there's no need to take any notes on any of this stuff. There's going to be a lot of information packed in this little 10-minute presentation, but feel free to just download that here in this particular URL. So you just go to thefreshinc.com/html to be able to download that. All right, so by show of hands, is anyone using video right now to market themselves, market their company, their freelance business? Got one, kind of two, okay. So is anyone interested in getting into video, or do you see the value of it at all? Yeah? Cool. So what I wanted to do is basically talk about why using video very briefly, and then we'll get into exactly how you're able to do that and benefit from it right now. So video can be very targeted, and as you guys know, that can be beneficial whenever you're trying to sell something. You're trying to corner something in a market, and you're trying to use keywords, you're trying to use all kinds of different strategies to reach your audience. Everyone is probably in different stages here, right? But it doesn't necessarily matter what stage you're at. You can still use video. So if you're working on your own, if you have a company that you represent, if you are in some other situation that I'm not considering, you can still use video to actually convert to sales or convert to leads or however you're working. And the reason we really like using video is because there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of noise compared to the actual signal. So the way we really like to think about it is video helps you cut through that noise. And people are really looking for it right now. A lot of social media platforms are looking for it right now, and they'll actually serve video over other things. And that's because video is part of the sales funnel. Whenever people are considering purchasing something, whatever, they're going to search, and then you want to rank for that. They're probably going to go to reviews, they're probably going to watch videos, and they're going to ask their network. So through all of these different stages of the actual sales funnel, we know that video can be crucial in basically every single one of those stages. So here's other stuff you're not going to need to write down, but I'm sure you've seen it all before. Like, video works for a lot of different reasons. And a lot of companies that we talk to are really just trying to catch up to that. They understand, for the most part, that video can be very impactful, and the research shows that. 2019 spend on desktop online video is going to be growing by 21% all the way up until then, as one statistic. There's so many others that we can just name off as far as why video is and should be a major part of what you're doing right now. So we like to deal with YouTube specifically when it comes to distributing those videos, and there are a lot of reasons why. Mobile devices, I'm sure you HTML guys know that mobile is something that should be a focus. Shareability with ease is something that should be a focus. So YouTube basically tackles a lot of those issues. And that doesn't really mean a lot unless you're actually using it, right? So what we're going to talk about today is how you specifically can, maybe get into video if you're thinking about it, or how to optimize those videos that you're actually already creating. So again, it's part of a strategy to come up with a persuasive video, optimize that video, place it on YouTube, distribute that after, and then market that same video in multiple different ways. And that's something that we really focus on at The Fresh Ink, is how do we accomplish that for each brand, for each specific goal, KPI. And we focus on 3 core areas of the business, and that's by, first of all, starting off with a great video. It's hard to market something that's really crappy. You can only polish a turd for so much before it's just recognized for what it is. So we focus on a really great video, then the digital distribution of that video, the analytics and all the different metrics that go into that, figuring out whether or not this video is actually performing. And then we go right back up to the top and make more videos that are actually reflective of those KPIs and of those analytics and of those metrics. And again, if you just got here, all of this stuff is going to be available for download, so you can go to thefreshink.com/HTML and get that. The things we really like to focus on are not the vanity metrics of what a lot of companies really, they focus on stuff that doesn't matter necessarily. So what we like to focus on are the things that do. So the watch time, YouTube search, subscribers and how that's growing, the suggested views, the engagement on the different social media platforms, the website traffic and the duration of how long people are staying on the site. All of that stuff goes into how we really understand whether a video is working or not. So let's get into what you can do as of right now. Here is a YouTube channel that I just pulled today. It's EJ Media. And you'll notice a few things. It's got a lot of subscribers. This is something that specific software that pulls this up. It's hidden in white text normally, but it pulls up the actual tags for the channel. So these are the keywords that this particular channel, EJ Media, is trying to rank for. So you can actually optimize your channel to be found with the content that you have on it. And what this particular channel is doing, you'll notice that the strategy is almost there. And we'll be able to dive into it a little bit more. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. But they have a really good playlist set up. So PHP tutorials for beginners, HTML5 tutorial for beginners, CSS layout tutorial. These are common phrases that are searched. So the name of his playlist isn't EJ Media CSS because no one's going to search that. The way they have it set up here is for search, and that's why they're getting the results that they're getting here. So how does that help you? Well, if you are making videos, you can focus on a few different things. Number one is the title. Don't title your video as if it's some sort of secret, or if it's some sort of catalog name, the way you're going to name a file. Think of what people are typing into this search box when they go to YouTube, or they might even be typing it into Google, and put those keywords towards the beginning. So a trick you can do is to type in into the search box, letters or beginnings of word phrases and see what comes up. And that gives you a very good idea as far as what's ranking well on YouTube and what video you should probably be making and how you can title it. Does all that make sense? All right, the next thing is going to be the descriptions, and there's a few things here. So this video that he's doing is CSS tutorial for beginners. Notice in this title, for beginners, 01, introduction to CSS. Then there's 02, 03, 04, and so on. Now YouTube loves this because it wants to play as many videos as possible. So if you have a sequential order in your titles, it's going to automatically, over time, recognize that it's going to need to serve that audience that next video in sequential order. You'll also notice that this is a playlist, so it has it in playlist order. So doing that as well is something you can really do to get more views. You'll notice here that the videos that YouTube automatically is going to serve next. If you're watching this one, you're probably going to be interested in these ones next. Going back to the description, you want to use your description to fill it with keywords. Now, you don't just fill it willy-nilly with just a bunch of words. You want to make it you want to make it read like a blog, in that the very top information, the very top of that is what is probably going to be seen most. So what you want to focus on is above the show more button. And I don't know if everyone understands that, but in the description there's the top part that's going to be shown on mobile, it's going to be shown on the desktop, and then you click that button to actually see more. So when you click on that button, that's when everything else populates, and that's where a lot of your keywords are going to rest. But this is the actual part that only gets seen by 95% of the people that are going to watch your video. Most people are not going to see below that show more line. So what you want to do is you want to have a brief description that gets people to want to click on something, And then you're going to want to actually put the link above that show more line. The next thing you can focus on is YouTube metadata. So whenever you upload a video, you've titled it, you put your description in, there's those tags at the very bottom. Now, what we see here is that there's multiple keywords that are being used. CSS, beginner. The ones that are really going to be the winner for you guys are going to be the ones that are keyword phrases, because it's hard to rank for CSS right now. But you might be able to rank CSS tutorial Dallas, something like that. Think about how many different 2-word, 3-word, 4-word phrase combinations you can come up with. Okay, I hope that helped. I only have 15 minutes here and I wanted to allow time for questions. So basically your next steps right now, if you want to start getting into video, just start. If you're already kind of dabbling into video, those tips would hopefully help you get found a little bit easier, get ranked by Google, get ranked in YouTube. What you can do right now is review your goals and see how those objectives can be met using video. We also provide packages, that will help with that. Basically, figuring out what your needs are and how we can come up with a video strategy for you. You can download this presentation. It'll have tips. There's actually a few more that I put in there that's not on this particular one because I had to cut it down for the 15 minutes. Or you can go to YouTube and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. There are plenty of videos that we have on our YouTube channel that will help you right now. If you want to just get started in video, if you're already started in video and you want to just get a little bit further along, get ahead of your competition, there are plenty of different things that come with the production, that come with the actual marketing. What do you do with that video after you have it? And it's all available for free. You can subscribe and get it. Or you can download this particular slide presentation, or just simply Google us at The Fresh Ink Marketing. So thank you. I appreciate your time, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask it now. We got about 3 or 4 minutes. Sir?
It's a title, but if I use some title name, it always found it's already been used. So how can you figure out that?
Title is already being used. Well, what's the name of your company or your business, or?
I mean, for example, you said CSS. You ask us to use very common names, but a lot of times that situation is this kind of terminology already being used.
Yeah, and that doesn't necessarily matter. What you can do is you can have the title, and you can have a dash, and you can have the name of your company at the end. You can actually do that for every single title that you have, which will tell YouTube, hey, if you're watching this video by this person, you might like this video by the same person. Other than that, if you just come up with a new video, and it's good enough, you might get ranked for it even if you have the same title. The titles being the same as someone else doesn't necessarily matter. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
If I use the title, it doesn't work. It says this title already been used.
Well, no. Wait. Oh, that you use your same title?
No, if someone else may use that title. That's what I mean.
I've never seen that error of this title's already been used.
Oh, really?
But like I said, you can put that. You can put your
Company
name,
name,
your
yeah.
company name at the end of it.
That's
It'll solve that.
That's good.
Plus, it'll help YouTube connect all your videos together. Any other questions? No? Oh. Sir?
What, so obviously YouTube is that's ideally where you want to put stuff, but there's some other channels that are sort of coming up now through different medium. Do these sort of tips hold true across those? As Instagram, all these other,
No.
platforms are starting to embrace video, and those are different channels and means of communication, everything from like Snapchat to everything else, right? And that has different audience profiles for each of those.
Yeah, and
So-
each audience on each platform likes to engage in a specific way, and then each platform works in a different way. So no, it doesn't work across everything. So like for example, what we really teach is that you have to have a different edit for almost every platform. So let's say if I have a 5-minute YouTube video, I might make it a 30-second Facebook video that leads you to the YouTube video. I might have a 1-minute Instagram video that leads you to that YouTube video in the bio link. Snapchat, it might be a different story. But that's how you use all of it together. Vimeo, for example, you have your Vimeo, probably hosting the video on your website. There's Wistia, which is another website video platform, but the real answer is it depends on the platform that your audience wants to be found on. So if you have an Instagram audience, figure out what your audience likes on Instagram, and then keep trying to do that. Same thing with Pinterest, same thing with Facebook or YouTube. Yes, sir.
Isn't it a pain to manage comments, or do you choose between that and turning it off and making it look like
No one's engaging
There's
at
no
all.
comment.
Yeah.
I mean, things with no comments, it just tends to look relatively unvisited, even if there's a large number of actual plays or anything.
Yeah, I just got asked this question earlier today. Matter of fact, comments are social proof that your video either works or it doesn't, right? So you can get a negative comment, and that's never good, but you can also set your comments to be approved before it actually posts. So there's that. If you do get a negative comment, look at that as an opportunity to talk to that person if they're, not trolling you or something. You can say, well, what would you like to see next? You can use comments as a good indicator of what you should do. And I don't recommend turning comments, disabling comments, because that's an indicator that's one of the things that the YouTube algorithm looks at to see if your video is engaging or not. So you're not even giving your video a chance to get a good comment if you do that. Yes?
Have you ever done any natural language processing or or sentiment analysis on the comments?
There's all kinds of data out there. Every single audience is different, so it's kind of hard. I work in the home building industry, and no one likes to leave comments on that. But whenever I was working with Funimation and anime, everyone left comments. So it really just depends. I'm not familiar with those exact platforms, but are they
It'd just be
gathering
looking
data
at
on
the comments to figure out, Twitter, you would do some sentiment analysis to see is it positive or negative, right? Seeing reactions, or just what are the common phrases that come up, or groupings of phrases that come up when people are going to comment.
And that's valuable, because if there's a lot of people using certain phrases, you can use those phrases in your next video or reaction video or whatever. Did that answer your question as well? Cool. Did you?
Well, like I said, all the audiences are different, so I guess how much of a burden it is to manage the comments would depend on
How popular your video is.
Take on it. I mean, maybe if you were the Gordon Ramsay of home building, you might get more comments.
Absolutely. Probably hate comments. But you should get a notification through your email whenever someone leaves a comment. And then whenever you actually sign into YouTube, it'll have a notification at the top as well. Any other questions? I think I used up all my time. And thank you guys for letting me do that. And yeah. Awesome. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me, James@TheFreshInc. My business cards are right here. And again, you can go to thefreshinc.com/html and download the presentation.
Thank you.